Why the number of participants is so less today? Do you all know that today I will take the class from 12? Students, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you all know? It was known to you that I will take the class from 12 or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Then only 10 students. Why? Where are the others? Now 20 students total up to this. 21. As electrostatics is not in your syllabus, so but Maxwell equation is in your syllabus, so I'm briefly describing the law, because Gauss law, that is the first law of Maxwell equation. This is first Maxwell equation, that is Gauss law. So that I am describing. Gauss law states that the total electric flux through a closed surface in an electric field is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the total charge enclosed by the surface. So what is Gauss law? Gauss law states that the total electric field through a closed surface in an one by one coming. Gauss law states that the total electric flux through a closed surface in an electric field is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the total charge enclosed by the surface, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. This is the Gauss law. Now what is this? So E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon 0. That is S encloses Q. When S encloses Q, and E dot ds surface integration, that is equal to 0 when S does not enclose Q. So here the total electric flux through a closed surface, E dot ds is what? E dot ds is the integration of this equal to the total electric flux, E dot ds, that is the total electric flux integration, that is through a closed surface in an electric field, is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times 1 by epsilon 0 times the total charge enclosed by the surface. What is the total charge enclosed by the surface? That is small q. So 1 by epsilon 0 times q, that is equal to total flux, that is E dot ds. That is said. Gauss law states that the total electric flux through a closed surface in an electric field is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times the total charge enclosed by the surface, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. Now this is mathematically the Gauss law. Because you have to know this, because this is the first Maxwell equation. I will describe later. This is the first Maxwell equation. Now here, the differential form of Gauss law. Now here, the differential form of Gauss law. Now we have to prove it. Differential form of Gauss law is what? We know the integral form of Gauss law as E dot ds integration equal to Q by epsilon 0. Now, if rho is the volume charge density means charge per unit volume. Volume charge density means charge per unit volume. So if this is the volume charge density over a small volume element dV, so rho is the volume charge density over a small volume element dV, then what is the total charge enclosed by the surface S? So it is the rho is the per unit volume. So in dV volume, what is the total charge? This is rho dV. Rho is the volume charge density, that is charge per unit volume. So if it is the charge per unit volume is rho, and if you multiply in with dV, then rho dV is the total charge enclosed by the volume dV. In dV, rho dV is the charge enclosed by the volume dV. Now if we integrate over the whole volume, in dV volume the charge is rho, total charge is rho dV. Per unit volume it is rho, so in dV volume the charge is rho dV, and we are integrating it over the volume V, then we are getting the total charge Q, that is here this Q. Now again from Gauss divergence theorem, we know the Gauss divergence theorem, surface integration is changing to volume integration. So we can write E dot ds surface integration equal to divergence of E into dV. This is equation number 3. This is from Gauss law we can write. Now combining 1 and 2, what we can write? Now combining 1 and 2, what we can write? In place of E dot ds, what we are writing? Volume integration, divergence of E into dV. We are writing divergence of E into dV. Volume integration divergence of E into dV equal to what? Q by epsilon 0. The Q value is replaced from here. The Q value is replaced from here. Q equal to volume integration rho dV. So it is written. So I'm coming to the first equation. In of the equation 1, the left hand side, it is replaced by Gauss divergence theorem, and surface integration is written in terms of volume integration. This is written in terms of volume integration, and that Q value, Q equal to this integration, volume integration rho dV, that it is written in place of Q by epsilon 0. So ultimately what you are getting, divergence of E minus, change the side from here to here, then you are getting rho by epsilon 0 in left hand side, dV equal to 0. So ultimately this is true for any arbitrary volume. So here divergence of E equal to rho by epsilon 0. Divergence of E equal to rho by epsilon 0. This is the differential form of Gauss law. This is the differential form of Gauss law. What is the integral form of Gauss law? What is the integral form of Gauss law? We have started from the integral form of Gauss law. This is surface integration E dot ds equal to Q by epsilon 0. This is the integral form of Gauss law. You have to remember this. And this is the differential form of Gauss law. What is this? This is divergence of E equal to rho by epsilon 0. So this is the first Maxwell equation you have to remember. So for that reason, I am describing in brief different portions. Otherwise, you will not understand Maxwell equations. Now electric current, I, you know, I equal to dq by dt. If 1 coulomb of charge crosses an area in 1 second, then the current is 1 ampere. So I equal to dq by dt, coulomb per second. This is the electric current. Now come to current density. And drift velocity. A charged particle placed in an electric field E experiences a force capital F. If the electric field is constant, then the particle will have an average velocity, and the average velocity of the charged particle is called the drift velocity. That is denoted by V suffix D. So if the electric field is constant, then the particle will have an average velocity. If the charged particle is placed in an electric field and the electric field is constant, then the average velocity of the charged particle is known as the drift velocity, and it is denoted by Vd. If we consider a medium of uniform area of cross section S, drift velocity is very important. It may be given in MCQ what to mean by drift velocity. So drift velocity is why if a charged particle is placed in a constant electric field, then the average velocity of the particle is average velocity of the particle of the charged particle is called the drift velocity. If we consider a medium of uniform cross section S and the volume charge density is rho, volume charge density rho means charge per unit volume, it is rho, then the current I at a given point, it is written as I equal to Vd into rho into S. S is the area, rho is the volume charge density, and Vd is the drift velocity. For uniformly distributed current, the magnitude of the current density J. So current density is denoted by I by S. I by S. So divided by the surface area. So J, current density equal to I by S. So from equation 1, what we can write if we change the side of S to left hand side? So I by S equal to Vd into rho. This is equation number 1. Equation number 2 actually. Now, again we know the expression of total current density I equal to J dot ds. So integration, surface integration J dot ds. This is the total current through the entire surface. What is J here? J is the current density. Now, for many materials, it is found that the current density in the steady state is linearly proportional to the applied electric field. So J is the current density. It is proportional to the applied electric field E. So J is proportional to E. J is the current density. So if we remove this proportionality sign, we'll put some constant here, and that this constant we are considering that sigma. So we are writing J equal to sigma into E. The constant of proportionality is known as the conductivity. So what is sigma here? Sigma here is the conductivity. of the medium at a given temperature. So current density is proportional to the electric field. And if we remove the proportionality sign, we will put some constant here, that is sigma. And we are getting the expression J equal to sigma I. That is equation number 4. This proportionality constant is known as the conductivity. Now the drift velocity along the direction of the electric field. The drift velocity is directed along the direction of the electric field. So what is the direction of the drift velocity? Along the direction of the electric field. And it is related to a constant called the mobility mu. Actually, Pd, it is proportional to E. If Pd is proportional to E, and here, if we remove that proportionality sign, we will put some constant, that is mu. And mu is the mobility of the charge carrier. Mu is the mobility of the charge carrier. Mobility is defined as drift velocity per unit electric field. So Vd equal to mu into E. So if E is 1, then Vd equal to mu. If E is 1, then Vd equal to mu. So mobility mu is defined as drift velocity, that is Vd, drift velocity per unit electric field. When E equal to 1, then the value of drift velocity is the mobility. So mobility is very important. Mobility is defined as the drift velocity per unit electric field. You will all remember these formulas because may be given for numerical. Now from 1 and 5, 1 was what? Vd into rho into S. This was equation number 1. And in place of I was Vd into rho into S. That was equation number 1. And in place of Vd, here, Vd equal to again mu into E. We have replaced Vd equal to mu into E into rho into S. Rho S, as usual, it is written. And the value of Vd is replaced here as mu E. Now the current density is what? I by S. Current density is I by S. So if you write I by S, then what remains? Mu E into rho here. And here, mu into rho again equal to sigma we are writing. So we are writing mu into rho equal to sigma is called the electrical conductivity. It is another definition. This is the relation between sigma, electrical conductivity, and the mobility. So electrical conductivity and the mobility is related by this equation, sigma equal to mu into rho. This is very important. So current density J equal to I by S, and this is equal to sigma E from here. So we have two equations relating current, relating sigma. J equal to, first one was J equal to sigma E. So between current density and electric field relation, sigma is the constant. It is again conductivity. And another way it can be, in other way it also can be expressed, and this is equal to sigma equal to mu into rho. And it is the relation between conductivity and mobility. Mu is the mobility and rho is the volume charge density. Now, if rho equal to NE, if you put the value of rho equal to N into E, then so what is the value of sigma? Sigma equal to N E mu. So NE, this is called rho equal to NE. So if you put rho equal to NE, then sigma equal to NE mu. And N is the total number of electrons per unit volume. N is the number of electrons per unit volume. So if mobility is given, N is given, then E value you know, then you can find out what will be the conductivity of the material. So these are very important here. Current density, whatever I have discussed here in this portion, that is current density definition is important. What is drift velocity definition is very important. What is mobility, that is very important. So you have to know all these things, the relation between drift velocity and mobility. Now the equation of continuity, this portion is very, very important. Let us consider a volume V of the conductor. We are considering a volume V of the conductor enclosed by a surface S. If rho is the volume charge density, you know volume charge density is the charge per unit volume. Then the total charge Q within the volume is given by, so rho, earlier I discussed. So rho is the volume charge density, charge per unit volume. And in dV volume, what is the charge? Rho into dV. And if we integrate over the whole volume V, that will give you total Q. That will give you total Q. From the conservation of charge, we can say charge can neither be created or destroyed. The amount of incoming flow of charge, I equal to what? J dot ds. This is the relation between current and current density, I equal to J dot ds. Integration of surface integration J dot ds must be equal to the rate of decrease of the total charge. As according to the continuity equation, we can write as according to the charge conservation, actually we can write I must be equal to the rate of decrease of the total charge inside the volume. So this is J dot ds, this is the current. It is current I is equal to minus dq by dt. So I equal to minus dq by dt. So minus ddt of q. Now this q is replaced from here. This q is replaced from here. So this q value is replaced from here. In place of q, we have written volume integration of v into rho dv. So ultimately del rho by del t into dv, volume integration. So ultimately we are getting surface integration j dot ds. Here you will write s here. So j dot ds equal to minus volume integration of del rho by del t into dv. Now Gauss divergence theorem. We are using Gauss divergence theorem. So volume integration is changing to so here the surface integration is changing to volume integration. So surface integration of j dot ds equal to volume integration of divergence of j dv. So we can write this surface integration equal to this volume integration divergence of j into dv. So using Gauss divergence theorem, we are changing the surface integration to volume integration, and I have discussed all these things when I have you have done problems using Gauss divergence theorem, volume integration. So there I discussed Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem. So j dot ds equal to surface integration j dot ds equal to volume integration divergence of j into dv. So left hand side is changing to like this, and the right hand side remains as it is. And the right hand side remains as it is. So therefore, divergence of j plus del rho by del t, put it in the left hand side. So divergence of j plus del rho by del t into dv equal to 0. Now for an arbitrary volume v, the integral must be 0. So this portion is 0. So divergence of j plus del rho by del t equal to 0. This is known as the equation of continuity. May be given in MCQ, may be given for short answer type question. So divergence of j plus del rho by del t equal to 0. This is equation of continuity. This is equation of continuity. And this represents the mathematical statement of local charge conservation. So which gives mathematical statement of local charge conservation. So here equation of continuity gives the mathematical statement of local charge conservation. If the region does not contain any source or sink, then if there is steady current, if the current is steady, then del rho by del t equal to 0. So the continuity equation reduces to divergence of j equal to 0. Because for steady current, so what is the equation of continuity? Divergence of j plus del rho by del t equal to 0. Now if the current is steady, then del rho by del t equal to 0. If del rho by del t equal to 0, then divergence of j equal to 0. So for steady current, the continuity equation of continuity becomes divergence of j equal to 0. It is also maybe given in MCQ question. It may be given that write down the equation or choose the equation of continuity from the above 4 options. What is this? It may directly may be given, or may be given that choose the equation of continuity in steady electric field. In steady, here is for steady current. Write down the equation of continuity for steady current. So what is this then? Equation of continuity for steady current, that is divergence of j equal to 0. So this is the equation of continuity, and for steady current, del rho by del t equal to 0. So divergence of j equal to 0. So this is the equation of continuity. I'm discussing these things in very brief because without that Maxwell equation is important. So the first portion of Maxwell equation, that is Gauss law, I have described. Equation of continuity, the velocity, mobility, current density, all these things we have described. Otherwise you will not understand, because in Maxwell equation you will get all these terms. Now magnetostatics. Lorentz force. What is Lorentz force? If a charge q moves with a velocity v, inside an electric field of strength E and magnetic field of strength B, then the total force known as the electromagnetic force and the total Lorentz force acting on the charged particle is given by this: F equal to Q into E plus Q into V cross B. Now here you know F equal to Q into E into Q into V cross B. So this is the, so if a charged particle is placed in an electromagnetic field, a charged particle Q is placed in an electromagnetic field and it moves with a velocity V inside the electric field of strength E. If a charged particle moves in an electromagnetic field, then the force experienced on the charged particle is given by Q into E into Q into V cross B. And what is V? V is the velocity of the charged particle. B is the magnetic field and E is the electric field and Q is the charge of the particle. And F is the force acting on the charged particle is given by this. F is the force acting on the charged particle given by this. Now, if the charge is Q is allowed to move with a constant velocity V through a magnetic field strength B, then the force is called Lorentz force, and it is, so we in Lorentz force there are two terms. Q is the Lorentz electric force and Q into V cross B, this is the Lorentz magnetic force. So first term is Lorentz electric force and the second term, that is Q into V cross B, that is Lorentz magnetic force, that is FM. Fe means Lorentz electric force and Fm, that is Lorentz magnetic force. Now here it is given, V is the velocity, direction is given, that is the direction of magnetic field, and this is the direction of F. Now the magnitude of this force F equal to QVV sine theta. QVV sine theta, theta is the angle between V and B. The particle is experiencing a force right angle to its velocity. The particle is experiencing a force right angle to its velocity. The particle is experiencing a force right angle to velocity. Now, Lorentz magnetic force is called no work force. Why? Because it is always perpendicular to the instantaneous direction of velocity. Here come this force. This is the magnetic force is shown. So Lorentz magnetic force, this direction is given. This is the instantaneous direction of velocity, and always it is perpendicular to the instantaneous direction of velocity. So as magnetic force is always perpendicular to the instantaneous direction of velocity, so it is called no work force. Now proof is I am doing. If an infinitesimal charge, we are taking dq charge, very small charge, moves in a small amount dl. So dl equal to v into dt. You know v into dt. In dt time, what is the distance traveled by? If v is the velocity, then velocity, v is the velocity, then in dt time, what is the distance? In dt time, what is the distance traversed? That is the v into dt. That is the distance. That is equal to dl. So it is the dl equal to v into dt. So per unit time, say v unit. Then in dt time, what is the total distance? That is v into dt. Now, dw. You know f w work done equal to f dot dl or f dot dr, you know. So dw here, so dw is what here? Dw equal to df dot dl. So dw equal to df dot dl. Df dot dl. So dw, small amount of work, equal to df dot dl. And df, f equal to q into v cross b. Initially it was f equal to q into v cross b. See here, f that is we are considering the magnetic force, then what we will write? F equal to Q into V cross B. So what is dF? dF equal to dQ into V cross B. dF equal to dQ into V cross B. So here dF dot dl. So dF equal to dQ into V cross B, and in place of dl, what we are writing? V into dt. So ultimately what we have? V cross B dot V. V cross B dot V. This value is 0 because V cross B is always perpendicular to V. V cross B is always perpendicular to V. So this is 0. V cross B dot V equal to 0. So if this middle portion is 0, so ultimately we are getting dW equal to 0. Thus, magnetic force does not work on a charged particle to move with a velocity V in a static magnetic field. Now, magnetic induction vector. It is defined as the number of magnetic flux crossing unit area normally in a medium and is denoted by B. The induction vector, this is called magnetic induction vector. The magnetic induction vector can be defined through its action on a charged particle Q moving with a velocity V on it. Now, force experienced by the charged particle equal to F into Q into V cross B. F equal to Q into V cross B. F equal to Q into V cross B. Now we are giving the giving the units of B. So here from here, so 1 unit of B is Tesla. You can write the unit of magnetic field as Tesla, and it can be write as Weber per meter square or Tesla. So 1 Weber per meter square equal to 1 Tesla. And then what is the definition of 1 Tesla magnetic field? So what is the definition of 1 Tesla magnetic field? So come here. What is B? B equal to F by Q into V. B equal to what? F, if you divide it, F by Q into V. So F is the force. So it is Newton. Then in denominator, what is there? Q and V. What is the unit of Q? That is Coulomb. And what is the unit of V? That is meter per second. So F by, this is F, this is Q, and this is V. So if you write in this way, then you will get Newton second. So this second is here. So Newton second by Coulomb meter. Newton second by Coulomb meter. So here 1 Tesla equal to 1 Weber per meter square equal to what? 1 Newton second per Coulomb meter. So 1 Tesla, this is the definition. Now I am coming to the definition of 1 Tesla. 1 Tesla magnetic induction is that in which if a charged particle of 1 Coulomb is projected with a velocity of 1 meter per second, it will experience 1 Newton force. So it comes from here. Come here. 1 Tesla magnetic induction is that. So B is 1. When B is 1 Tesla, if a charged particle of 1 Coulomb, here, if a charged particle of 1 Coulomb is projected with a velocity 1 meter per second, is projected with a velocity 1 meter per second. So B is here. B is 1 when a charged particle Q is 1 Coulomb and it is projected with a velocity 1 meter per second. So here small v equal to 1 meter per second. Then it will experience 1 Newton force. Then the force is 1 Newton. So if a charged particle of 1 Coulomb, it moves with a velocity of 1 meter per second through a magnetic field of 1 Tesla, then it will experience 1 Newton force. So this is the definition of Tesla. 1 Tesla. This is the SI unit. Now, if you want to write in CGS, then you can convert it. 1 Tesla equal to in this way. That is 10 to the power 4 Gauss. Convert that everything that is here force. So it was initially written in Newton. Now converting to dyne and all the things are converting to CGS unit. Ultimately, you are getting 10 to the power 4 Gauss. When you have done a Hall effect or there, or magnetic field you have used, then you have written 1 Tesla equal to 10 to the power 4 Gauss. So in this way you are getting. Now This is the Biot-Savart law I am discussing. What is Biot-Savart law? If a current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field around it, we know that if a current passes through a conductor, it produces magnetic field around it. What will be the magnitude and direction of the magnetic field? That is given by Biot-Savart law. So what is Biot-Savart law? If we have a current carrying conductor, then it produces magnetic field around it. If we have any current carrying conductor, then it produces magnetic field around it. Then what will be the magnitude of that field and the direction of the field? It is given by Biot-Savart law. This is the expression of Biot-Savart law. This is magnetic field equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl cross r hat by r square, or it may be written as this ideal r vector r by r cube. Now, if you replace r hat, you know r hat equal to vector r by, that is mod value r. So you can replace this r equal to r hat into r. So it is written here. So ultimately this is. Now the direction we can find out here. Here we have one current conductor. So this is the value of the magnitude. From here we can find out the magnetic field. And direction, how will you find out? Say this is the direction of the current. This is the conductor. The current is flowing in the upward direction. Now here in this point you have to find out what will be the direction of the magnetic field. Now this is dl. Small distance is dl. So what is here? Ideal it is, and it is r. This is the distance is r. So what will be the magnetic field here? So it is dl cross r. dl cross r. So dl in this direction and r is here. So it is coming to from this direction to this direction, from in this way. So it is given cross sign here. dl, if you do dl cross r, you will get downward direction. If you do dl cross r, it will be downward direction. And here it is current. So cross means downward direction. So magnetic field in the downward direction. And it is point here. Point means magnetic field is upward direction. This is the current carrying conductor. Current is flowing downward direction. R is the distance. At r distance, we have to calculate the direction of the magnetic field. So it is given by dot sign, because dl it is here in this way. So we are writing dl cross r. So if you cross dl cross r, it will go to the upward direction. So it is dot sign. So in this way, we can find out what will be the current direction. And ultimately, the magnetic field is given by this mu 0 by 4 pi I dl cross r by r square. And mu 0 is the permeability of free space. It is given by this. So go through the note. There are different formulas are there, but that means different. This portion is important. Just read it. You will understand this portion. That means if there is no Lorentz magnetic force, thus absence of a magnetic force on a charged particle does not indicate the absence of B. So it is explained here. Just read it. And that I will prove tomorrow. This portion, divergence of B equal to 0. This is the Maxwell's second equation. Divergence of B equal to 0 we will prove from Biot-Savart law. And it is divergence of B equal to 0. This is the Maxwell's second equation. So actually we are proving the Maxwell equations. Then I will write down what are the equations. So are you all free from 12 tomorrow? Are you all free from 12 tomorrow? Tell me. Free tomorrow 12.